Hi, my name's Natalie. I'm from West Wales and I'm part of the Trtles. Okay, a bit about me. I have 2 dogs. Molly is very, very new to me. I've had her for less than 2 months. I'm absolutely besotted with her already. I'm a major dog person. I also volunteer and walk dogs for people who are terminally ill or too old to be able to walk their dogs, so that they can keep their dogs as companions. The dogs still get the exercise that they need. I do like to take my dogs out with me on the coastal path because I live on the west coast of Wales. My challenge for next year is to do at least the whole of Pembrokeshire, which is 180 miles, which I'm really excited about. And the dogs love coming with me. They get to go off lead and we take food, we take tea, I have a backpack, and yeah, we just have a great time. I also love food. Food is really important in my life. Going out for dinner with friends, with family, cooking, having people over to the house, just something that I really enjoy, looking after other people. And I think if you asked any of my friends or maybe even some Trtles about me, they'd probably say that I am quite an organised person. I like to kind of put plans in motion and make sure that things happen, and that's actually one of the big changes that I did this year with changing my career, was making sure that that's something that I do on a day-to-day basis, and I've never looked back. There's so many different ways that it has changed my life, whether it's, you know, smaller things or the larger things. One of the biggest things that's changed for me is I was reviewing my life and holistically what I enjoyed and what I was good at and how I wanted to spend my time, both professionally and personally. So since joining Trtle, I kind of did a life audit and I changed my careers. So after 10 years in one career, I moved to a completely new career, which I'm absolutely loving. And I feel like it plays a lot more to my strengths, but I also enjoy it a lot more. Then there's also the smaller things like building habits, getting rid of not so good habits, but replacing them with good ones as well. When I first started, we were looking at stoicism and then psychology and philosophy. So we do that a lot with book club as well, and doing the mindset sessions and learning from other people's stories. They've really inspired me to be better at setting boundaries and to be really thinking, what do I want out of something? What, you know, is that going to make me happy, or am I doing it to please other people? So some of the habits that I changed have been, this might sound really crazy, I'm in my 30s and I used to love a nap, and I still occasionally do love a nap, but it was every day. So now what I do is, instead of going for a nap, it triggers me to put on a podcast and take the dogs out for a walk, get some fresh air, and that makes me feel more energized. And then after that, I find that I'm raring to go to do something else. The other thing is habit stacking, and that's from one of our book clubs. So I definitely wanted to do the 7 a.m. workouts, and one of the reasons I tell myself is that I haven't drank enough water, so I won't do that. So now I drink water in the morning instead of coffee first. I'll do my workout and then I'll reward myself with a cup of tea or a coffee, and then read my 5 pages for book club. So it's just little tweaks, but they've had quite a big impact on my mindset and myself physically as well, and my dogs. So in terms of goals, it is something that I will be assessing again in a few months' time when we get to New Year. One thing that I really worked on this year was my strength training with Ryan and Louise, then doing Ryan's technique videos, mostly on demand because I'm a bit camera shy. At the moment, I have a new goal. I have just signed up to Race to the Stones, which is an ultra marathon, 100 kilometers, 60 miles with a group of other Trtles. Before that, in April, we've got the Wolf Run, which is a 10k obstacle course. So very much focusing on the running aspect, running technique and discipline more than motivation. So that's going to be a bit of a change for me, because what I have been focusing on has been strength workouts, whether it's on the plans that Ryan puts together or joining the lives. So it's going to be really interesting to kind of change that aspect of my training. I think for me, something that's really, really important and has been for many, many years is mental health. And I've suffered a lot with anxiety and a bit more with depression in the last couple of years, especially going into lockdowns and feeling cut off from people. That was really tough. But I know that I need to look after myself before I can look after anybody else around me. And I do love to look after my family, my grandmother, my parents. That's really important to me. So I know that I have to look after myself before I can look after anyone else. With that in mind, you know, exercise has always been really important to me in terms of looking after my mental health. Going for a run when I know When I know that I don't want to go for a run, that's when exactly I have to go for a run. Or when I don't want to log on and talk to people and I think I want to be alone, that's exactly when I need to be surrounded by my network. And that's really important to me. That's been my why, my driving force. It's easy to do the workouts when you enjoy them and when you're feeling motivated and you're all pumped, and that's really exciting. But a lot of the times you'll wake up, especially in the darker months, and you just be like, oh my God, I don't want to get out of bed. Like, this is really horrible. And for me, it's always thinking, this is good for me. And I know that I will feel 100 times better afterwards. And the fact that my clothes fit a bit better and I feel a bit more confident in myself is just a bonus. One thing that I'd like to say to anybody watching this, and if it can help one person, then that's really important. I feel like I've been through a really tough year. I've experienced loss. I've lost financially. I've lost in terms of one of my best friends. I've also gained a lot, and my health is in a good position, and I've really had to look after my mental health, and I've been really fortunate with the support network around me to do that. But one thing I will say, and it is the Trtle motto, so I'm gonna bore you with it, but it's one day at a time. And some of my hardest days, I have woken up and thought, okay, just today. You don't need to think about tomorrow, just think about today. Or yesterday wasn't a great day, today still could be. So that's one thing that I think is just so important to remember. And if you are going through a tough time, if you're struggling in any way about anything, you know, if it's personal to you, talk to somebody about it. Just reach out. Could be anybody, could be on Instagram, could be a message. Because I think what I've found is that reaching out has really surrounded me with people that have helped me through this and see myself in a better way as well.